Are we just testing the sound?
Bumping elbows just for balance.
So 2 plants this week. Does that mean that we've gone up in the world, or?
Had a couple of good months, mate. I'm investing.
So vlog, what number is this then?
9.
9. You looked at that and counted it on. Have you hit the 5-minute
so
button?
5 minutes. You talk less. We'll be good. You ready?
All right, go.
So vlog 9.
Yeah.
I think it was 2 weeks ago, wasn't it? I think we did our last one. So I think the market, as a bit of an overview, is still it just seems to be getting busier and busier and busier. I think there seems to be less talk of sort of, well, we need to be careful, we're not sure what's going on. I mean, clearly the larger companies, as I think I said the last vlog we did, still aren't really hiring, but startups, scale-ups, SaaS businesses are just making the most out of this opportunity they've got. And you look at all of the roles, I mean, August was our best ever month, September was our best ever month since setting up the business, and now October we've just surpassed that month again. So it feels like there's confidence, it feels like people are wanting to sort of recruit new talent, there's new projects happening, a lot of stuff around infrastructure, cloud, security, and then from more of the startup and the SaaS businesses around sort of customer support, sort of implementation consultants. So it feels busy and it feels good at the moment.
Yeah, and I think my view is that I think companies are playing catch up. I think from March onwards, they've always had this remit to do stuff.
Yeah.
The uncertainty was there, obviously, from the beginning, and they've obviously now gone, right, let's get back to what we need to do. This is what our plan was. We need to fast track that. We've seen an uplift in the contract market, I would suggest.
Definitely.
So we've put quite a few contractors into organisations recently. And for me, that just feels like we need to get this stuff done.
Yeah.
There's potentially stuff for people afterwards. They could go permanent afterwards. But let's just get through this first, and then we'll decide where we are at the end of the year.
Because I think it's a really good point. Because I think that was one of the things that first got hit when everything went into lockdown. I remember literally pretty much 95% of our contractors were just walked off site sort of in March, April. And I think the confidence coming back is a really good sign of things sort of improving. And I think one of the really interesting things I'm seeing is candidate availability in terms of sort of the talent that is active on the market through the summer and probably up until even sort of September time. There were a number of candidates that were unfortunately out of work. So actually, from a technology perspective in the Southwest, you still had quite a good choice. Whereas now it kind of feels almost like it was as if COVID never existed from a candidate perspective. There aren't many people that are immediately available on the market. Most people now are in roles. So actually wanting to make that jump is a huge decision, and even probably actually a bigger decision than what it was pre-COVID. And I think that's proving challenging for clients hiring in this market. So again, some of the things we've spoken about before are thinking about the employer value proposition and how you pitch your company. I think that's really important. But I think also from a candidate perspective, for the people that are now wanting to look at new opportunities, I think they really need to be thinking about utilising their network, because I think one of the things you mentioned is sort of the roles that you're seeing and working on maybe aren't being advertised. I mean, what are you seeing in that space?
Yeah, I think absolutely. I think one of the things that people are coming to us about is advice and opinion on their LinkedIn profile. It is an extension of the CV. I've always advised candidates as well to have a real long think about people that they might have worked with in the past. Explore your network first. Because organisations, they can be a little bit, if they know that an individual is available and they've worked with them previously, then of course that's the number one option for them. They will bring them into the business because they're a known product. So have a think about, if you are on the market, exploring your network on LinkedIn, make sure that you've got all your details on your LinkedIn profile in terms of what you've been doing. I think, normally people just put the job title of what they've done and the company they've worked for, and that's it. It needs to be more than that.
Yeah, it's interesting. And I think thinking about, we've got a really good article on our website which kind of details all the different areas and points that people need to be thinking of, how to utilise a LinkedIn profile. So I definitely advise people to go and have a look at that. But just some of the simple things. I was chatting to somebody last week who's sort of a professional interim, wanting to look at new opportunities and sort of going, well, look, I appreciate the level I normally operate at. There isn't a huge amount out there. So I was having a little look through his LinkedIn profile with him, and the location he put was where he lived. But actually, there's probably not many people searching for that level of role in that area. And I said, the problem is, the people will probably do 20, 30 miles around maybe of Bristol, let's say. But if you sit outside of that, you're probably not going to get picked up. So actually, you probably need to think about sort of maybe looking at changing your location, looking at sort of getting all of those key words into your profile. So I think that's something that a lot of people can probably get some really quick, easy wins from. And then engaging with other content on LinkedIn to kind of push your profile through. But so I think definitely have a look at that article, and if people have got any questions, we're both more than happy to help people look at their profile and give our opinions on what we look for, because we live on LinkedIn when we're searching for these candidates. So I'm more than happy to chat through what I know.
What else has been going on?
Well, I think the big thing is what's really going well is our TekCurious founder series.
Yes.
So far we've had David Davis, the ex-CEO from Hargreaves Lansdown and Navos. That proved hugely popular. We had Elliot from the bunch sharing his story about setting up in university and sort of where he is now in the whole journey. But we've got some really big names lined up sort of over the coming months as well, haven't we?
Yeah, Ultra Leap. So that's really good. Tom Carter's going to be joining us for a podcast as well. We've got Mike Bondiak, who's at PTI. We've got Helen over at Data Cubed booked in, and we were talking to this morning.
Yeah, we've got then a few other people lined up as well, haven't we? So we've got Rocket Makers.
Yep.
We've got some of the guys as well lined up to come in from Reach Industries as well.
Yes.
People behind Reach Robotics. So I'm really looking forward to that. I think over the coming sort of few months, there's going to be some fascinating sort of conversations, and just sort of for people to learn about sort of the great successes these companies have had, but the journeys they've been on, the lessons they've learned, and probably sort of what they may have done differently. So I think that'll be really good.
Yep, absolutely.
Anything else?
I think that's it.
We've got Amelia now, who's going to make all of our videos and stuff look amazing. So no more of my dodgy editing skills, forgetting to press record, mic's not working.
Bad your rough and ready editing skills were, mate.
What I've learned about video editing, mate, in the last 6 months is just not worth knowing, you know what I mean? So I'm made. Bastard.